Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I have acquired this lovely pre-built beige box for the grand sum of £110, which I think is an extremely reasonable price to pay for some nostalgia. Let us pop the lid and have a look at what we have inside. Well, that is a lovely sight. A vacant AGP slot just waiting to be populated. And we also have 3 PCI expansion slots, 2 of which are populated. Down here we have 4 memory slots with 2 slots populated. A nice little bonus is this 180 watt Seasonic PSU, known for being a reliable, compact power supply suitable for older or specialized mini ITX, micro ATX or industrial cases requiring an SFX power supply. Clear prop. Excellent, we are getting the post screen. We've got an Intel Pentium 4 clocked at 3.2 GHz, paired with 512 MB of DDR. Lovely, it boots up nicely into Windows XP with no problems at all. And that is going to save me a job later when I'll be doing some Windows benchmarks, but first let's reboot and run a DOS bench, just to check everything is working nicely. PC player in 640x480 scores 92 frames per second. Doom in high detail for faster PCs times 2134 gametics in 576 realtics. To calculate Doom's FPS, divide the number of gametics by the realtics and multiply by 35, and that gives us a result of 129.67 frames per second. Quake in 640x480 scores quite a disappointing 21.6 frames per second, so appearing to struggle somewhat on Quake. And finally in Speedsys we're getting a processor benchmark score of 2203.48. Testing memory time and results are as follows. The 8KB data cache level 1 transfers 15,173.84 megabytes per second. The 512KB data cache level 2 transfers 10,599.98 megabytes per second. And the memory throughput is 1,597.92 megabytes per second. That is 1.488 gigabytes per second on the memory throughput. That is very fast, and a great start to the preliminary benchmarks. Right, so I've only had this machine running for around 15 minutes or so, and I've noticed a smell that was a cause for concern and required an instant power off. And upon a little inspection, there appears to be a substantial amount of heat radiating from this PSU, which is really not a good sign. High heat can melt internal components, cause internal arcing, or permanently destroy the PSU, sometimes damaging other parts of the PC. Even if the power supply doesn't immediately fail, running hot consistently shortens the lifespan of capacitors and other components. The PSU's over temperature protection safety mechanism would have turned the computer off to protect components, which luckily did not happen. So I'm hoping that this PSU will be fine once I've identified the issue. This now turned into a complete teardown of this machine to get this PSU out so we can have a good look at what's going on inside, which was not what I was expecting to be doing in this video. I was intending on doing some Windows comparison benchmarks, comparing the onboard Intel Extreme Graphics 2 chip to various AGP graphics cards, just to see how extreme the Intel's Extreme Graphics 2 chip actually is, but unfortunately that's not going to happen in this video. While I rip this machine apart to extract the PSU, I will provide some information on the motherboard. That is an Intel D865 GLC desktop motherboard running the Intel 865G Springdale G chipset, supporting a socket 478 Intel Pentium 4 CPU with FSV speeds of 400, 533 and 800 MHz, with a maximum memory support for up to 4GB of DDR PC3200. This board is also known as the Gateway Midway, the Gateway Midway 2 and the Gateway E410. first of the two PCI cards is a Viewcast Osprey 210, featuring a connection to Fusion 878A, which is a legacy 32-bit PCI video decoder and audio capture chip. The Viewcast Osprey 210 is a single-channel analog video capture card designed for mission-critical tasks like surveillance, medical imaging, and scientific application. It captures analog video along with an unbalanced stereo audio, frequently used for streaming legacy video sources. So, a nice little card to have lying around that is capable of capturing analog video. The second PCI card in this machine is a P111. That is a PCI to PCMCIA adapter card designed to add a PCMCIA card slot to a desktop computer. Manufactured by Elan Digital Systems, it is frequently used to interface industrial components or wireless LAN cards with standard desktop systems. Finally, the motherboard has been removed, which has been a bit of a nightmare because of space restraints. Everything is proper jammed in with little space for movement. Now that the motherboard is out of the way, I should be able to get this PSU out of the case. Sorry cable tidy thingy, but you are in the way, so you'll have to come off. That was a bit of a mission, but the PSU is now finally out, and now we can investigate. Firstly, I'm going to check the provider of cool air, the fan. I'm not sure what's stopping the fan from spinning. It doesn't appear to be spinning very well, so let's have a look inside and see if we can see anything. Well, so far I'm not seeing anything that is a major concern, no burnt caps or anything like that I can see. Try not to electrocute myself. Dangerous being inside one of these things, primarily because high voltage capacitors can hold a lethal charge for days, weeks or longer, even being unplugged, posing a severe electrocution risk. Well, I appear to have found the culprit. Tiny piece of clear plastic that's stuck in the blades, and you can see that. Well, I suspect that this clear piece of plastic has come from within this power supply, as power supplies often contain pieces of clear or translucent plastic, most commonly used as a baffle or shield, and to help direct airflow, usually positioned to force airflow from the fan across the internal heat sinks, increasing cooling efficiency, and to insulate components by acting as an insulator, preventing high voltage components from arcing to the metal casing. As in this case, this piece of debris completely stopped the fan. This is quite dangerous, causing the PSU to overheat, likely triggering a thermal shutdown, or in a worst case scenario, failing completely, potentially damaging other components. So to summarise, although this fan is now fixed, I don't think I feel too comfortable using this PSU. I don't like the fact that the internal plastic is disintegrating, and what appeared to be burnt, that could mean something was getting far too hot, or that there could be a potential arcing to the metal casing. And the question to you guys, would you rebuild this machine, or would you consider maybe something faster, more modern, or maybe even something older than the Pentium 4? Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching. Take care everyone.